Controlled Chaos series dropping. If you haven't seen it, just dropped. Go to youtube.com/rockstar and you can see. So Alec Robbins unfortunately did text me and said, hey man, I'm not 100%. Car's a little unhealthy, been struggling with some engine issues. So, you know, he's gonna give it his best effort, but he knows who he's going against, our #1 qualifier and defending champion. That is Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osbo. It's Alec Robbins initiating that first clip. We are officially turning to burn our first pro battle here at a brand new venue for Formula Drift. Frederick Osbo makes quick work of outside zone 1 and 2. Now coming to inside clip 2. Here comes Alec Robbins. Doesn't look too shabby, I'll be quite open, just as I say that. He goes and takes a shallower line, that final outside zone. Frederick Osbo, I mean, doing exactly what he needs to do. Very reminiscent of what we saw on Thursday for his qualifying run. A good job there by Frederick Osbo. But I'll tell you, Alec Robbins, for being unhealthy as an engine, still looked decent.
Yes, he did. Yeah, Osbo here placed his car everywhere it needed to be. Very smooth, no issues. You can see as he comes by inside clip 1 right there, nice and tight. Great job on outside zone 1, outside zone 2. Like you said though, Robbins is right there. He's a few car lengths back. He's on line until inside clip number 2. And then as they transition, he's on the inside. Osbo, on the other hand, is in that box. Alec does back his car up into the zone a little bit, leaves it a little early, but great job from Osbo up front. Really nothing bad to say. Very smooth, put the car in all the right places. It looks like he knows how to get through this track very smoothly on throttle without any kind of concerns. Look at that line all the way around outside zone number 2. Pretty much perfection right there.
You can't win in top 32. You can only win in the finals. So you kind of pace yourself. He knows, again, his spotter, Stefan Papadakis, he's up here. He's probably saying, hey, just FYI, Alec, you know, is a little under the weather as far as the engine goes in his vehicle. More machine versus man. But that comes into play here. And I think it's good to be honest about it. You'd rather kind of, hey, man, being forward here, good sportsmanship. This is where I'm at. Don't want to total the car, don't want anything bad to happen. So I think that's a very tempered approach on Alec Robbins' behalf. So here we go. Frederick Osbo will chase down the Facetto Nissan 350Z from Minnesota. Alec Robbins has, you know, just been gaining ground here in the championship, and a very fast driver. When he came out guns a-blazing a few years ago, and it's great to see him and his family here in the FD Championship. All right, here we go, initiating. There goes Alec Robbins, gets in the rumble strips. You can see quick little yank of that handbrake, but Alec Robbins ripping through, but Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer, Osbo dives in. There's where you go. You're talking about where those rear tires should be. Frederick Osbo right there, following that smoke signal, following that smoke trail. He does come a bit shallow, but watch him massage it. So you were talking about getting into the gravel. So Alec Robbins does exceed the edge of the course just a little bit. Little gravel machine gun. I know, you know, shooting some rocks into the Armco wall over there, but I really want you to point out again, smoke trail. You talked about that earlier. Keys to victory. Osbo did a great job of that right in the middle course.
Yeah. So you saw where Osbo was positioned there against Robbins. You could see that he was right where he should be, not too far forward, not too far back. So on initiation, like you said, Robbins did drop a tire there over the rumble strip in the dirt, but doesn't disturb him too much. Osbo here is mimicking line angle that Alec is laying down in the lead position, getting his car positioned. So you can see how Osbo can still see where he's going, but the smoke lines are sort of matched up. That was Osbo's one mistake, I think, right there. He had a bit of a bobble going into outside zone 3, and then Alec drops the tire through the majority of outside zone 3. So you can see there, long handbrake pull from Alec, but he gets back on throttle, no problems there. Osbo's adapting well to what's going on ahead of him. He's getting his car well positioned. Again, this is a perfect view right here of the positioning that we're expecting from the chase cars. That's exactly where we want to see them. And again, that was Osbo's mistake. You can see that bobble and angle as he transitioned, and then Alec puts the tire over. So in terms of did he do enough, I think Osbo, in terms of what he did on the lead-to-lead comparison, definitely had an advantage there. Chase to chase, I think it was a clear victory as well, despite that little error.
Setup right from that was what round debut was 2 rounds ago. So yeah, it was 2 rounds ago. So here we go. Let's get back to the action here. 85, 89, 90 miles per hour from Kazuya Taguchi in that lead position. Darren Kelly massages that Aston Martin right there to the side of Kazuya Taguchi. Gets a little lost in smoke, a little straight waiting there by Darren Kelly in chase position. Kazuya Taguchi, let's see how he tightens it up. He does not. To that second inside flip, we need to see him tighter. Darren Kelly taking a shallower line, unfortunately. Maybe gets a little lost in the smoke. That final outside zone, Kazuya Taguchi does get out to it. He fills it up, but Darren Kelly, again, taking that shallower line. Great job by Kazuya Taguchi. He did miss that inside clip number 2. So let's walk us through it again. And again, I think the smoke is really going to play a factor here. You know, going from pro spec to pro, a little more horsepower, a lot more tire.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, that smoke is what affected Darren Kelly coming through inside clip 2 area. But let's look at the initiation. A little bit of a bobble from Taguchi in the lead. You can see he didn't let the car rotate fully, but Darren Kelly's right there behind him. Taguchi's not fully in zone 1. Does a better job in zone 2, though. Coming through inside clip 2, like you said, Taguchi was off. And watch Darren Kelly's transition here. Way too early, and I'm sure he was kind of upset with that one in the car as it happened, and he knew, now I'm on the inside, now I'm going to have to get off throttle and try to get the car positioned. I'm going to lose proximity there, and I'm going to...
Two-time drift champion in his native country, road racer as well, sports car racing. And here we go with Darren Kelly. Will that be a restart? Yeah, that's going to be a restart. So it looks like just had a little stutter out of the gate. Like Darren Kelly kind of jumped it a little bit and then kind of reset. Yeah, so unfortunately, look at that thumbs up from that gentleman right there, feeling the flow, feeling the energy. But Darren just had a quick little jump and then stopped. Oh, shoot. So in regards to the start, the lead car cannot leave the start line until the red lights right in between both the racers extinguish. But keep in mind that chase car, in this instance, Kazuya Taguchi, can leave prior to the lead car, and that's all about pace, and that's why we have the start chicane. So it does, yeah, look at that. You see Taguchi's name in St. Louis. Love to see Darren Kelly up in the mix, but again, I love the variety, and not only in pro, but also in pro spec. You touched on that last night. I think that's really cool. Here we go. We got a clean start? Yes, we do. Here we go. Darren Kelly, the heart of racing. Aston Martin, Kazuya Taguchi, 94.9 miles per hour. Big angle there from Darren Kelly. He's going to throw it down tight on that inside clip. Need to get that overhead view for that outside zone 1, going into 2. Looks like he's down. Big angle again. Inside clip 2, right and go in that box. Kazuya Taguchi, couple car lengths back, now coming that last outside zone. Darren Kelly bringing it home for the fondue. Ooh, does exceed. Gets into the gravel. Little rally racing, little rally cross going into the gravel machine gun as the Aston Martin crosses that finish line. Your knee-jerk thoughts about Darren Kelly entering into FD with a very unique car, but also walk us through this run.
Yeah, he did a much cleaner run in the lead there with that open air in front of him. At initiation, good job. Maybe dropped the tire in the dirt a little bit over the rumble strip. Bit of a bobble coming to outside zone 1, which he misses slightly. He was in the box, but not all the way. In the chase, you've got Taguchi pretty much right there with him. Matching line, matching angle, as you can see there in that overhead view. Coming to outside zone 3, this is where Darren puts a tire in the dirt. So I think it's going to come down to the accuracy errors that Darren Kelly had. The one in the chase position and then going into the lead now, where he did drop that tire in outside zone 1. There was a kind of a bobble on angle there going into outside zone 1. But overall, a really smooth run from Darren Kelly. Look at the angle. Again, set it and forget it for the most part, except that early one. And even when he dropped the tire here in outside zone 3, stayed on throttle. I don't think it really affected the angle too much, and he got through the finish line pretty cleanly.
Yeah, so a really good effort there by Darren Kelly and Kazuya Taguchi. I think there were mistakes on both sides, but now we're kind of really splitting hairs here. And your thoughts on Darren Kelly entering and his talent as we go to our judges. Slide him left for Taguchi, right for Darren Kelly. We got it one more time for Brian Agger, and it looks like it's right in between them. And again, once they extinguish, Ryan Turk can leave. Power can leave prior to that. Here we go. All right, we got New Hampshire versus New York coming into, ooh, nice initiation by both of them. Ryan Turk, that big wide mouth, you can see pulling that front left Nitto tire off the ground in that second outside zone. Now Mike Power taking a little bit of shallower line, it's gonna set him up. Turk actually could have been a little tighter to that inside clip. Now coming that last outside zone. A lot of these guys having trouble. Look at that, getting into the gravel.
Yeah, Yeah, and you can
So
see his front wheels move a little bit. He was
Right.
on the gravel there, so it did affect him slightly.
A little correction, and then you were kind of like, oh wow, a little slick. Well, I mean, figure all the rubber that was laid last night,
Yep.
you know, it dissipates with the rain and kind of the weather.
Sure.
But then coming in this morning, you know, practice, they had a couple hours, and that's, you know, you got to figure 32 cars, how many runs can you actually get? So,
Yeah.
you know, dealing with the track as it is right now.
Yeah, so on Ryan's lead run, I think he missed outside zone 1. So let's watch again here. Nice initiation, though. Pretty tight on inside clip 1. He was not all the way into outside zone number 1, but does a better job on zone 2. There you can see Power falling behind a little bit, but he does take that tighter line through inside clip number 2, and then as they go to outside zone 3. Turk gets in there nicely, but then drops a tire just over the edge for the majority of outside zone number 3, so that's going to be a bit of a detriment to Turk there. It depends what happens with Power in the lead, of course, as it is comparative. And you can see he was slightly off of inside clip 2, as you pointed out, Jared. We'd like to see him a little bit tighter. At the very least, we'd like to see that front tire on that white line, and they can go as close to rubbing that inside clip without hitting it. But outside zone number 3, definitely an issue there with the tire off all the way around. So Mike Power, what does he have to do now? Fill outside zone 1, which is something that Ryan missed.
Yeah.
And then put his tire on the edge of the track in zone 3 all the way around without dropping that tire, but, you know, nice wide line, and then be tighter on inside clip 2. So Mike Power right now has 3 areas of opportunity that he can really expand upon if he's able to put his car in the right position.
Yeah, and he's got the mindset of the lead car now with, you know, going against Ryan Turk, who won round 1. Right now, Mike Power just needs to run his own run. Basically, Turk doesn't exist. I think that's the best approach right now for Mike Power to advance on and get through. As I said, Long Beach's winner is Ryan Turk. You know, he's in contention. He's in the championship hunt. This would be a huge blow and catch him. Well, look at this, 100 miles per hour. Mike Power comes in, leaves it all out on the track. Now here we go in that first outside zone, transitioning into outside zone 2. In outside zone 2, need to get that aerial view. Let's see how he handles his inside clip. He nails it. He does what he needs to do. Now coming into that last outside zone. How's Mike Power going to handle this? He is right there on the track edge. He is looking at really taking down Ryan Turk, who is in top 5 contention right now.
Yep.
That Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla, again, that's what I'm, you know, obviously Ryan Turk has been around since 2004. Mike Power, you know, fairly new to the series, you know, competed in Pro Spec, made the jump to Pro, and now here he is going in. But this is interesting. This is a brand new track, so there's no data. They can't go up anything. Ryan, I really want you to focus on the run, but also walk us through it. What went down?
That was a high-scoring qualifying run, if that's what we were doing right now, for Mike Power in the lead. Outside zone, inside clip 1, tight. Outside zone 1 and 2, filled. Inside clip 2, tight. Outside zone 3, mostly filled. Near the end, he came off a little bit, but if you compare that to Turk, who went 1 tire in the dirt all the way around outside zone 1, this is
so to remind the fans, what, you know, breaking down the criteria, line, angle, style, obviously that's qualifying, but right now take a look at the BC Racing Go for Gold side by side. Let's look at chase runs as well. Take that into consideration.
So 1 eyeball on each screen here. We want to make sure we catch everything that both drivers are doing. Good initiation by both drivers. Chase drivers right here about the same. Watch the difference in line on the right versus left. Mike fills it, Ryan does not. On the outside zone 2, they both filled it great. Mike missed outside zone 2 in the chase. Turk was a little off, but I think he did a little bit better there. Right here, proximity-wise, they're about the same. Mike is not as wide in outside zone 3 as Turk was in his chase, but Ryan in his lead went a tire off. So there are some wins and losses for both drivers here.
Hey, got the fans out here rocking, like I said, shorts or flip-flops. I mean, look at my man's Steezing right now. Need to get him some heat waves out there, feeling the flow. There you go. All right. Well, taking a look at the polls, they're saying 58% are going one way to the other. All right. So again, this is where we're splitting hairs, and I think we're really analyzing this. Just, I mean, there were 2 really good runs, but with the mistakes made, you know, this gets interesting. This is where I kind of just want to lay out. Don't want to kind of impede on the thought process of what you guys have going on, because all right, slide him left for Turk, right for Mike Power. Again, Ryan Turk in contention, and that is Mike Power, and a 1 more time. So 2-1. And Mr. Daniel Stuckey here in that M-Spec vehicle, but JTP, the signature teal and blue. Looking down, looking for some great speeds here from Justin Pollock. Gets that clean air. Ford Performance putting him up there, and check it out, big angle. Stuckey wasn't focusing on him, but saw a little twitch in that chase position. Now coming into that second outside zone, into the inside clip. There we go, wrapping it around. Nice job by Pollock. Stuckey just barely knocking it over, barely kissing it. Looks like Stuckey, you saw him grip up, but look, he massages it back there. Well done by Stuckey, gaining that composure. But I'll tell you what, Justin Pollock out front, looking confident. And there were a few drivers that came out here, and again, it was allowed to test the track, get some footage, and get used to the course. So we had the Sorensens out here. We saw JTP. I know Jeff Jones was out here. So a few of the drivers coming and having their way. There is Ryan Turk, who, and not a pushover there, going against Mike Power. Now he's got to find that X factor to really kind of, you know, take it over the top. Here we go.
All right, my focus is going to be on outside zone 2, Jared. There was something a little off with what JTP did right there. So you can see he has low angle by inside clip 1. It looked like he was, I don't know if the front end was washing up, but look, right there, he hesitates. The car, he comes off outside zone too early. The car kind of hesitates a bit, and then he gets back on throttle. So not ideal for JTP in the lead in 2 areas. Inside clip 1, it looked like it was low angle. I don't know if the front end was washing out, what was happening there. Let's watch from this angle. So right there, you see he's not quite straight, but almost. And then right here, see that? I think that was a handbrake pull there. It looked like the car was having an issue going from outside zone 2 to inside clip number 2. Going to outside zone 3. Pollock does a good job there, running a nice wide line. And then the chase, you can see Stuckey right in the right spot. Like you said, he got his car well positioned. So, going to be a tough decision here as we watch the second run of this battle.
Stuckey, you know, in that chase position, you saw him a little stepped, and yeah, you see him come out of drift a little bit there. It wasn't like a roadblock, wasn't kind of, like you said, pulling that handbrake. It wasn't impeding in Stuckey, but you have to think like, thinking quick like that, and how fast they're going into that second outside zone.
Yeah, it would definitely throw Stuckey off. Something to happen in that area. That's an area where you need to get back on throttle as early as possible to get through inside clip 2. You can see that the error that Justin made there made him early on inside clip 2 as well.
Both these drivers have a big opportunity to not leave it in the judges' hands, so they need to throw down either a gangster lead run or a gangster chase run. So Daniel Stuckey throwing it into that outside zone. Now coming out of the smoke is Stuckey, and then Justin Pollock. Justin Pollock comes a little bit short there. Now tight to the inside clip, both of them go into that final outside zone. Let's take a look at the instant replay. And like I said, this is a big opportunity for one of these drivers to really kind of take it over the top.
Yeah, Stuckey here did a good job. I think he dropped a tire in outside zone 2, but let's look at it from the drone. Decent initiation for both drivers. Good job on angle through in 1. Outside zone 1, much better from Stuckey. Stuckey does drop that tire there. I don't know if he slowed down. We'll have to try to get that from a different angle through there. But he maintained a good line through inside clip number 2, and decent job through outside zone number 3. Let's watch it here again from the ground as he rotates there. Good job on inside clip number 2. It seemed like a nice line was drawn there. It looked like JTP has a hesitation a bit in the chase position. Let's watch Stuckey's line all the way around. Yeah, JTP is definitely making a compromise on line through outside zone number 3. So not ideal placement from him there. Let's watch this again from the drone. Oh, maybe not.
And we can see the fans here, fans of all ages. The Outlaw's in the building, says it right on his hat. There we are. Talking to his kids, wrapping out. All right, so again, all right, so we're looking at kind of a split decision here. And actually, some people are saying 50, yeah, so okay, scores are in 51%. Stuckey, Pollock 28%, one more time 21%. Slide him left for Pollock, right for Daniel Stuckey. Gets the win, taking out Justin Pollock. All right, a man looking for a win is with Laurent Nichols. Daniel Stuckey moves on.
Yeah, that's right.
And here we go. Let's see. Chris Forsberg will lead. Forsberg qualifying 4th. A great qualifying position for him. 98.4 miles per hour comes in that first inside clip. Big wide swing. Right little goes off course. And now Forsberg get that POV, that FPV. Goes in that second inside clip. Ryan Literal into that inside clip. Quite a bit of distance back here. Ryan Literal shuts it down. Chris Forsberg continues on through the paces. Let's take a look at this. Want to see that overhead view of Chris Forsberg's initiation. You see Ryan Literal make that attack.
Yeah, Forsberg got back on throttle in the right area, so I don't think it's on Forsberg for this off by Ryan Literal. So let's look.
Saw a quick little correction from Forsberg.
But definitely nothing to cause what happened to Ryan in the chase. Forsberg, there was a little bobble there inside clip 1, but he was on throttle. He was back on throttle before the clip. I don't see a problem there with what he did in the lead. And then I guess from that point on, that's an incomplete for Ryan Literal. But Forsberg did complete the course, no problems there. Yeah, there was just a slight bobble from Forsberg. I think it's just a miscalculation on Ryan's part in the chase position. He tries to get back on throttle, get back on the track, but I think he realizes by that point that he's so far back. He just bricked up at that point and saved his tires for the second run of this battle. Forsberg completes the course. Nice job on outside zone 3. Good line throughout the course.
All right, let's see how it shapes up here. The second part of this run, Ryan Literal, power stop brakes S15. Looks like they'll whip it right back around and pull to the start line. Ryan Literal losing some body parts there, but looks like the car's rip roaring ready to go. We'll pop that bumper off. All right, so as we are seeing, Ryan Literal will lead and Chris Forsberg will give chase. All right, as we are seeing Ryan Literal, the power stop brakes S15. Chris Forsberg pacing him here on initiation. Let's see what kind of speeds we get out of Ryan Literal, hitting that 90. Looks like just eclipsed there at 94.6. Pulling those GT radials off the ground into that first outside zone. Transition to the second, and Literal looks like shuts it down. That's a big correction there. And wide swing around that second. So it's kind of a reinitiation there. Looks like he lost drift on that second outside zone and pulling through the line. But want to get that overhead view, but just with the naked eye, going that second outside zone, you saw him straighten out, and he was out there, but it's formula drift, not formula drive straight.
It
Take a look.
looked like incredible car control on Forsberg's part. I don't even think Forsberg's straight behind that, but let's watch here as they initiate. You can see Ryan was slightly off of inside clip 1, drops the tire there on outside zone 2, and then straightens, and Forsberg's right there. I bet he was clenching his teeth behind Ryan, but manages to avoid contact with Ryan, mere inches apart there. Great job from Forsberg not making contact with Ryan, but it'll be an incomplete for Ryan in the lead position on run number 2 of this battle.
Taking a look there in the pits, and I believe that is Matt Field. There he is. He's got heat wave chilling out. It's literally what it says on his chest and his glasses. So, and there are the points standings coming into this round of competition. Matt Field leads the pack. You can see the gap there. Just under 50 points separate Field and Frederick Osbo. And let's take a look. Slide him left for Forsberg, right for Ryan Literal. And there you have it. Chris Forsberg gets the win, and it's all new NOS energy drink, Nissan Z.
Also no data from this track before, so everybody's learning as they come into this competition.
So many different facets, and that's something that keeps being brought up on a regular basis. Here we go, the one more time battle, Ryan Turk versus Mike Power. 99.6, almost 100 miles per hour. Like I said, you got to bring that X factor here. Mike Power had a great second portion of that first battle, but right now Ryan Turk seems to be finding that sweet spot. He does go off of that second inside clip, and he needs to be tighter to that, but Mike Power taking a very shallow line. Ryan Turk wasn't exact. Oh, there he goes. Want to get that overhead shot. Want to see where Ryan Turk was placed in that last outside zone. Getting that really cool FPV. Looks sensational, but we're utilizing many different aspects. And I say we, the judges, not me, but as far as telling the story, let's take a look.
Did you see the gap produced here on the run-up to initiation? The Papadakis could turn the dial up on Ryan's car potentially. At initiation, both cars looking good. Ryan nice and tight on in-clip 1, better in outside zone 2 than he was last run. Great on outside zone 2. You can see Mike a little bit off of that. Turk pretty good on inside clip 2, could have been a little bit better there, but great job through outside zone 3, and it looks like Mike is just keeping that 5 to 6 car length distance, not able to get any closer. So I think there aren't as many areas of opportunity for Mike Power going into the second run of this battle. Last time he had 3. This time I think he has 1.
Yeah.
That's inside
just
clip.
Better.
Yeah, well, inside clip number 2 is the only place where he can really do a lot better than Ryan. Maybe Ryan wasn't fully deep in outside zone 1. He was in the zone. He just maybe wasn't all the way deep in it. But overall, great run from Ryan. Mike was just not there, proximity-wise.
And feeding off of that and coming off of that first battle between these guys, forcing it to a one more time, I was talking about not a lot of data about this track, but Ryan Turk turning it up. This is by no means this is drag racing, but he took Mike Power to Gapplebee's for lunch right now because he turned it up and basically said, hey, here's the seniority coming into play. Not only Ryan Turk, Biddies, and his whole team, but also Papadakis Racing. They know this car. This car took, Frederick Osbo to a championship. So you have to take all these things into consideration, right? And so there's the knowledge wherewithal. I know Scott's over here over my right shoulder, and he's Mike Power's spotter. He knows, different facets and different factors. So a lot of knowledge, not just in the car, but in the pits and in the spotter stand that's being shared, kind of perspective, what's going on. So it's all great insight.
Yes, looking forward to this run of battle right here.
There we go. Mike Power will be leading in that power drift. S15, Ryan Turk chasing him down 99, 102 miles per hour. Mike Power talking about, hey, you know what? I don't care how long you've been here. I'm going to try to disrupt. Mike Power transitions into that second outside zone. Ryan Turk tries to dive in. Is he too aggressive? Let's take a look at this here on that second outside zone, going and approaching that final outside zone. Ryan Turk goes off course. And Ryan Turk explodes. Going to that third outside zone. Let's make sure he's okay.
Oof.
He did get into that tire wall.
That was unexpected.
Let's just lay out and make sure he's okay.
Exciting things.
Make sure we get thumbs up. Can we see in the car there? Ryan is moving. Hey, round of applause for Ryan Turk and Mike Power, please. So Ryan Turk, what went wrong going into that final outside zone, transitioning from that inside clip? Did it get lost in the smoke? I mean, it was just interesting how it just straightened out.
So there's something weird with his steering here that we noticed right away, and we just kind of confirmed on our big replay screen that we have here. As he's coming into the transition, you still see his wheels are turned left. He never counter steers the car.
It's like it went straight.
So, yeah, I'm not sure if there was a power steering issue. So let's watch on the replay here. I don't know if we'll be able to catch it, depending on the view that we get on this live stream view.
So outside zone 1.
Yeah, you can see outside zone 1 there. 2's right there. Mike Power did make a little mistake there, but Turk soaked it up really well, kept going. Watch his front wheel here. See how it still turned really, really late. So I don't know if it's a combination of being lost in the smoke and just not counter steering, but he ended up going really wide there and not getting the car rotated quickly enough to get to outside zone 3. And it could just be being in the smoke right there, put him in the wrong spot. It's a deadly area there to be lost in the smoke with that wall so close on driver's right.
He did step out of the car. The crowd erupted once he got out of the car. So Shannon, he's okay. Roman, he's all right. So he's taken some hard hits over the years. Another round of applause for Ryan Turk, if you could. Ryan Turk, Toyota Racing, GR Corolla, brought to you by Rain-X, of course. He's on Nitto tires. And fortunately, he did hit the tire wall section. More of a, I have to assume, just a bruised ego at this point. This is the second portion of this run. A verdict will need to be called. All signs are saying that Mike Power will get the victory here. There was nothing totally out of character of what Mike Power did in the lead position to throw Ryan Turk either into this major mistake and then eventually going in. But taking a look at Let's slide him left for Ryan Turk or right for Mike Power, and the Birch is in. Mike Power gets the win. He advances on. He takes out Ryan Turk. Controlled chaos has turned into not so controlled chaos. Chaos just in the pure fact of the matter. So Ryan Turk, a contender, piloting that Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla, looks like it will leave under its own power. Look at that. Ryan Turk, always a crowd favorite, but right now, he is definitely a bruised ego. So very unfortunate turn of events.
We have a bit of cleanup to perform here.
Yeah, we have the made surfaces out there, quite a bit of gravel, the tire wall, some signage. So, man, Type S elevated, top 32. We are here in the Rockstar Energy Drink, top 32, and one of the Rockstar pilots, Ryan Turk, goes into the wall, leaves under his own power. We'll clean up here, but again, talk behind the wheel of that Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5D on Nitto tires. And unfortunately, his RTR teammate Adam LZ did not qualify in top 32. Here we go. This is Chelsea Denofa coming down out of the chute. Let's see how Michael Essa chases him down. Big angle there, 103.6, the fastest speed we've seen, pulling that front left off the ground into that first outside zone, transitioning through. Here comes Michael Essa on the attack in the second outside zone, but does take a shallow line. Holy cow. Hit switches. Look at that. Now that final outside zone goes Chelsea Denofa. Turn it to 11, and we talked about this kind of in the open. We feel like this track will suit Chelsea Denofa's style. Proof positive right there.
Yeah, that wide open, full throttle. I think maybe Mike Essa straightened completely behind Chelsea Denofa here going to outside zone 2. So let's have a look. Great job, both of them in outside zone number 1. Outside zone 2, watch Mike Essa right here. No smoke, completely straight, gets back on throttle. That looks like a mechanical problem to me. I am not sure. So let's look. Inside clip number 1, outside zone number 1. Beautiful job by both. Outside zone 2, right there. Yeah, that is a big problem for Mike Essa through there. He misses inside clip 2 after reinitiating, but that'll be an incomplete from him. That is one of those serious straightens that we cannot overlook. That is not one that we can say, you know, that was just a little one. Yeah, it was a huge loss of drift there. That was no throttle, no power going to the wheels. So again, I don't know if the car turned off, or he had a mechanical issue or what, but
look at that pulling. Look at how much, talking about Gapplebees, but he's gapping, hitting switches, man. I'm telling you, that's pretty G. Those Nitto tires are hooking up. Yeah, well done.
Yeah, those front tires only have to do half a lap each.
Exactly.
Transition this way, then up.
Yep. Yeah, looking like Thriller, right? You know when Thriller goes like this, side to side?
Yeah, same.
Yeah. All right, so Michael Essa will now lead. He makes his way back to the start line. Like you said, was there mechanical? What's going on?
He's just going all the way back. So that may have been a mechanical issue. He's calling a competition timeout.
We calling a comp timeout here. As Michael Essa just heads back, maybe needs to turn it up, maybe having a mechanical issue, but we will see. We will find out. And I know, you know, we saw Essa at Pikes Peak International Raceway, partied with him in Jabay at Grid Life. Seeing some steam, some smoke, something's coming out from the back. As we overlook that FCP Euro Liquimolli BMW, taking a look back at this run. Very sensational run, 103.6 miles per hour on initiation. Yeah, and there's that straightening. Loss of drift, let's call it that.
Yes.
Loss of drift, let's use that terminology. And into that final outside zone, you can see Essa just comes up a bit short, and obviously just a little too late for the former champ of Michael Essa. All right, not seeing hands on the car.
Hammer.
But I'm assuming, so coming over. Oh, Mike. We got shifter issues or handbrake issues. And we've seen that and heard of that before, yanking on that handbrake. So, and yeah, so the NGK competition timeout has started. So Essa, you could see him working on the car. So it's within the cockpit. It's not the engine. So I could see that, right? I mean, maybe, you know, goes and throws and tries to initiate into that second outside zone, and failure to launch or failure to drift. So
yeah, that could be
the handbrake.
Give me a vice grip.
Oh man, something, you know, what's unfortunate is that's obviously something tactile as opposed to mechanical. I guess you want it that, but in the heat of battle, you definitely don't want it.
Yeah, exactly. If you're behind a car and you go to grab the handbrake to set the car, to slow down, whatever it is, and all of a sudden the handbrake's in your hand, but it's not connected to anything anymore, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. All right, so we'll keep an eye on this, see if he could replace that handbrake. Yeah, it broke off, getting some insight from his spotter as well as Lorette Nickel. We'll move on to Love and Hull. I just love how, like, the visual, the names, it just looks like we're at Yellowstone right now. We got Love and Hull. I can't quit you. Everybody needs a little love, and they got some right here. Courtesy of the Jasper Keys BMW going against that Comp Cams.
Look at
Wild
Hull's
Willie's
placement.
Corvette. Yeah, that's a deep set right there.
It's a deep set. He wants to really keep an eye on Love ahead of him.
Look at a little pace right there from Taylor Hull. Full pull Hull going to chase down Mr. Josh Love.
It's paying off for him.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that pace. Nice initiation there from Love out front. He works his way into that first outside zone. Let's see how they transition to the second outside zone. You saw Taylor Hull back off, give himself a bit of room, but that doesn't set him up properly for that second outside zone. Let's see how they handle the final one. Staying under that smoke trail. Josh Love barely dipping that back right wheel in. And Taylor Hull. So again, the depth into some of those zones and some of the execution on those inside clips on either side, leaving a little bit of opportunity for either driver. Let's take a look of and it looks like Essa, his team rolling around. Essa still thrashing on that thing. Hopefully they get it done. Just under 3 minutes left.
There was a bit of a stepped initiation from Hull in the chase, and then it looked like he wasn't as deep in outside zone 1. So let's see that initiation there. He gets a little bit more angle later on. Love definitely drops a tire there in outside zone 1, and then Hull transitions earlier than Love did, puts him on a bit of a tighter line through outside zone 2, and his timing is off through that area. So he falls off a little bit, but manages to get back into proximity. He's a little tighter on line, though. Did make some compromises to get there. So we're going to have to watch that again just to look at what happened with Love in the lead position, where he's placing his car, and then how Hull is anticipating what's going on.
All right, let's find out what's going on. Lorette, what's cooking down there?
Well, guys, so you can see Michael Essa through the car. His handbrake broke, and they're having some problems with the master cylinder as well. So there is, oh my gosh, can you see this right now? They are trying to cut the handbrake. I'm also trying to get a view in here, but Michael Essa is still in his car. He hasn't left, and they are trying to fix this in 1:29. That's what's left. So 3 bodies in the car right now. Actually, we have 4 bodies in the car right now. So we have 1:15 left on this competition timeout.
Thank you so much, Lorette. Thank you for the insight down there on the ground. Lorette Nickel, another member of our broadcast team. Here we go. Taylor Hull now out front, gets the clean air. Let's see how the vet handles this. And Taylor Hull coming, initiating big sweep. Josh Love going for that straight line approach. And that Jasper Keys BMW, the Comp Camps Edelbrock vet now in that first outside zone, transition to the second. So a little wobble there from both of the drivers. Tight on that inside clip. Look at Taylor Hull just knocking it out of the way. Josh Love, nasty transition. But Taylor Hull, you can see him getting right in that crease. Well done by Taylor Hull in that last outside zone. Josh Love, gangster flick in, but I don't think it got as deep as lead driver. Essa throws on his spectacles and the handbrake, like Lorette was saying. We got 4 people in there, and we are down to mere seconds. Looks like Essa should be, I would hope, he's going to be pulling up to the line, but you got to keep in mind he does have that deficit. Looks like there he goes. All right, sweet, that's great. Congratulations to Essa and his team getting the car back together. FCP Euro. Look at all the BMW. Let's take a look at the eye in the sky.
All right, so we looked at the replay again a little bit closer of the first run, and it looks like Love went way deep in 2, was way too long on 2, but look at Hull here. Really nice line in the lead position. This is how the line should be run by the lead driver, so we can kind of excuse some of the errors that Hull made on his chase run originally based on the mistakes that Love was making. Now you see Hull putting his car in all the right places, and Love has a much better opportunity to put together a good chase run. So in reality, Love didn't give Hull much of an opportunity to put together a good chase run on run number 1, but now we've got a much better run from Hull in the lead, and we've got a much cleaner chase, of course, because it had a much better lead to follow.
All right, let's get the verdict here between Hull and Love. See what's going on here. Slide them left for Love, right for Hull. And we got 1, 2, and 3 votes for Taylor Hull. Unfortunately, Josh Love knocked out the Jasper Keys BMW. What platforms is Torque Drift available on? Because for those that don't know.
It's going to be available pretty much on every primary platform, especially Torque Drift 2 as that continues to get released from month to month. We're kind of dropping little tidbits and teasers throughout the next couple of months, but you can expect a full release between 23 and 24.
Awesome. Hold on tight, because you're going to actually hang out here in the booth. And don't feel like you got to announce here, but we got the second half of this battle. Michael Essa, Chelsea Nova. That handbrake broke off. It looks like it's working now, as now Michael Essa wraps around that second inside clip. Here comes Chelsea Nova, who had a phenomenal, oh, look at this, as Chelsea Nova goes to that final outside zone. Let's see if he can hang tough here with Michael Essa now pulling across that finish line. And Alex, as we take a look, this is this battle here is going to close out the first half of our top 32. Again, want to wrap out with you about Torque Drift and what you have to offer, you know, in regards to bringing the real life, as you say, Formula Drift US, Japan, into the game. But I'm going to walk us through here. Have you always been a drift fan, or is this kind of something new for you? I mean,
it's always
video game, cars, all of it?
It's always been a good sport. I love making cars unreliable, and drifting's just another one
Did you
way
say
to break.
unreliable?
Oh, absolutely, man.
Oh, come on.
You barely know what you're doing when you're building it in the garage, but that's how you learn.
Exactly, right. All right, so again, you can see Michael Essa there filling that outside zone. Chelsea Nova back there a little bit, but again, Michael Essa had that big correction on that first portion of that battle, you know, in run 1. So as slide him left for Denova, right for Michael Essa, and again, unfortunately, too little, too late for Essa. Chelsea, here we go. Dylan Hughes will lead. Dylan Hughes qualified second. Great qualifying for him in this fast orange Permatex BMW E46. Here we go into that first inside clip and see how he handles the Trent Beecham. Little wide swing into the first inside clip, now to that second outside zone. Approaching the second inside. Ooh, Trent Beecham aggressive. Get to the side of Dylan Hughes. Trent Beecham qualifying 31st, but man, he's looking like he qualified first right now. Beecham has the proximity, great proximity from Beecham, flirting with the side of that BMW. So let's get that overhead view. And again, shout out to the dozer, Dylan Hughes, qualifying second on Thursday's qualifying.
All right, coming up to initiation, you see Beecham nice and close, really keeping that proximity all the way to initiation. As they initiate, good job from both drivers here, getting by inside clip 1. Beecham just slightly off of outside zone 1. Better job through outside zone 2 as he follows Hughes' good line through there. Nice and tight on inside clip 1 by Hughes. And right here, outside zone 3, you can see Trenton's, he has the proximity, but he doesn't have the line. He's making a sacrifice there on line to maintain that proximity. And again, what we really want is the back of the cars to be more along the same line, but you can see there that they're almost nose to nose through outside zone 3. Almost, yeah, pretty much equivalent there for the majority of outside zone 3. Backs off just a little bit at the finish line. Like to see better positioning with the proximity through the majority of the course.
All right, so let's pull him back up to the start line. Look at the kid of the sombrero down there. He's a happy-go-lucky fella. How we doing? Yeah, my man. Wearing that camo bucket hat. But your homeboy, what's he doing? He's just cranking buds, just looking at his phone? All right. What's going on, man? Are we not entertaining you? Are you not entertained, bro? You got to look at your phone? Come on, man. Put that thing down. Focus on the family that is Formula Drift. There we go. All right, back to the start line with Trenton Beecham now leading. Dylan the Dozer Hughes will chase him down. Trenton Beecham would love to take down a winner in Orlando, which Ryan Sage, president of Formula Drift, and I agree that that was the most bonkers Formula Drift round we've ever been part of in Orlando. Lightning striking. We had to bail out of the bleachers a couple times. We saw torrential rain. It was insane. But right now, they're going to make it rain some tire debris. Here we go. Trent Beecham throws in 102 out front. And Trent Beecham dials it in that first clip. Here comes Dylan Hughes surging an attack. But Trent Beecham I'll tell you what, this looks like a total different Beecham from what we saw in qualifying to now when it goes to head-to-head. Coming to that outside zone. You can see Trent Beecham started really strong in that outside zone. Let's get that aerial view. I think that's going to be a good opportunity. But man, Trenton's initiation, 102, that was aggressive. That was solid.
Yeah, and
Beecham damn near killed him.
He only had one little issue, and I think it was just after initiation going to inside clip 1. So let's watch the replay here. See Dylan nice and close with him right there. You can see his car loses a little bit of angle, does get close to inside clip 1, but maybe early apexes it a little. He leaves outside zone 2 early, but manages to draw a pretty decent line by inside clip 1. Sort of early apexes that as well. As he goes to outside zone number 3, you can see his tire in the box, leaves it about halfway through that zone, but pretty decent job from both drivers. Just a couple of errors here and there. Outside zone 2 here, leaving it early can put you on a bit of a weird line, and you can see right there, he barely touches the beginning of that line leading up to inside clip 2, but manages to make it through. Maybe not as clean as Dylan's lead though, but good job from him. A big change throughout the season for him. We saw a lot of saw some mechanical errors, mechanical issues, I should say, that led to some driving errors throughout the season. But it looks like the car's really working well now. He's got it focused in and laying down some good laps.
Yeah, really excited to see what Trent Beecham would do. And let's see, slide him left for Dylan Hughes and right for Trent Beecham. It was unanimous. What was the standout moment for you, or kind of like you say, those mechanicals and what's going on? What are your thoughts, and why did Dylan absolutely get the dominance here?
Yeah, I think it was just cleaner, and he had a more consistent chase as well.
Okay.
Better positioning. He followed the line.
Reeder, he's saying hello to everybody over there at the local Walmart. Travis Reeder, let's throw it down. That Reeder Motorsports, Link ECU, BMW. All right, ooh, big aggressive initiation by Dean Carney, but way overshooting it, overcooking it. And that, unfortunately for Dean Carney, that's gonna be an incomplete because obviously way off course. And for Reeder, that will be an automatic major advantage for him.
Yeah, that was a chase car following the rules, following what we tell them all the time. If the lead car goes somewhere, you follow them there. Reeder just followed him right off track,
yep, all right.
Stayed with him, mimicked his angle, everything was perfect.
All right, well, as these guys reset, let's throw it down to Lorette Nickel, who's with Chelsea Denofa.
Filters are off there, you end up shooting straight off the track.
Yep. All right, here we go. So Travis Reeder sits on a major advantage, and he gets the clean air. Dean Carney really needs to step it up here, 97.4 miles per hour. Again, not a unit of measure and not a judge criteria, but just obviously it's pretty amazing speeds, and then throwing it sideways. So Travis Reeder on that second inside clip. Dean Carney, whoa, big wide swing. Now Travis Reeder gets it into that final outside zone. And Dean Carney brings it across, but no major mistakes from Travis Reeder. Some opportunity there, but with Dean Carney out of the gate going off course, that's a major advantage for Reeder and that Link ECU BMW.
Yeah, I think there was a little bobble from Reeder at inside clip 1, but nothing that would constitute an incomplete or anything like that. But pretty clean run from him. You can see there a couple of, right there, a little bit of a bobble, but overall nothing that would cause any concern. His trunk was off before the run started, so we don't have to worry about anything unlatchable in that case. But yeah, it was a smooth, clean run overall from Travis Reeder in the lead position. Dean Carney was there. He was in the chase, but unfortunately with that 4 wheels off, incomplete on his lead run, pretty hard to overcome.
Slide him left for Dean Carney, right for Travis Reeder. You know the outcome here, unfortunately, for Dean Carnage Carney in the HyperNFT.io Viper. Travis Reeder moves on. That Link ECU, Radium Engineering. He's running a V6 engine, basically out of like a Tacoma or an FJ Cruiser, so pretty cool to see a very unique build. It sounds very unique, and of course, 2 very unique sounding vehicles, given that we got some Winkles out there on track. All right, Ken Gucci initiates into that inside clip. Kyle Mohan in tow. Into that first outside zone transition, into the second. Let's see what Mohan's got now into that inside clip. Here goes Gucci and Mohan. Now to the final outside zone, both of them. Ooh, and Mohan initiates. He's on the wrong side of that outside zone. Mohan, he is on the wrong side of that clip. So that will be basically an incomplete in that chase position.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate for Mohan. He was doing decent up until that point. Let's take a look with Eye and Sky.
Yeah, you can see there as Gucci gets his positioning in the run-up to initiation, gets the car to angle. Kyle Mohan's right there with him. Good job on inner clip 1. Mohan misses outside zone 1. Better job in zone 2. Gucci's filling it nicely. Nice and tight on inside clip 2. And right here, Mohan may have got lost in the smoke as he transitions. He drops the tire in the dirt on the right side of the track, and then it just sort of pulls him off as his line was taking him that way. He wasn't able to get the car around that corner and ends up going off basically on the pit entrance road. No harm, no foul physically to the car, didn't hit anything. Everything's fine there, but just got himself back on track. But unfortunately, that'll be an incomplete for Kyle Mohan in the chase position.
Let's alternate the order here as they head back up to the start line. We will see Kyle Mohan leading, but another scenario similar to what we saw with Dean Carney, just with that disadvantage. Oh boy, look at these hot boys. Yo. Okay, zero chill, but right now, that is Matt Field's team looking on as he is our next battle. Matt Field would be going against Rome Charpentier, and Rome Charpentier has again gained a lot of traction, but Matt Field is our points leader. But right now, they're sitting on deck. He is in the batting circle. The Beast from the Bay, our current points leader, is up next. Right now, there's Rome Charpentier, the Garagistic BMW. Right now, all eyes are on Mohan and Gucci. Who's advancing on? Let's see Mohan, 94, almost 95 miles an hour on that inside clip. Looks like Gucci doesn't exactly get tight to that inside clip. Now into that second outside zone, zeroing in on the second inside clip. Mohan wraps around it, Gucci barely nudges it over. Let's see how they handle this last outside zone. Whoa, and that's going to be, unfortunately, we talked about this in the driver's meeting. Mechanical issue shuts it down before the finish line. And all right, the Momo suited and booted, gloves and seats. As we spoke about helmet paintings yesterday, he's rocking that PBK helmet, big MF on the side, 777. Signature Falcon tire livery, but right now, just make it official. You know the outcome. The Goosh, Ken Gucci, the OG, gets the win. Meet them in the final. Pending on, he's got to get through Rome first. Yep. Task at hand.
Exactly.
One battle at a time. And that was his interview with Lorette Nichols, saying like, hey, humble yourself. He says, hey, maybe down to horsepower. Here we go. This is a big battle right here. Rome Charpentier will lead Garagistic BMW. Like I said, second in E-Town. Matt Field has yet to win an event, but he currently leads the championship. Come to that first inside clip. Both of them wrap around it. Approach that first outside zone, now into the second outside zone. Rome dialing it in. See a little handbrake pull, and then looks like Matt Field center punching that second inside clip. Now coming to that final outside zone. How are they going to handle it? Rome Charpentier gets all the way out there. Matt Field comes up just a bit short. So I'll tell you what, a good lead run by Rome Charpentier. You're kind of looking at both vehicles, where they're at, analyze it. What'd you see, Ryan?
Well, I saw a couple of errors from Matt Field. So let's look at the replay and confirm what we saw in the live version. Nice and tight on inside clip, number 1. Both pretty good on outside zone 1. Both pretty good on outside zone 2. Field's following him really well. Field center punches that inside clip, so that's the first big mistake that I saw from him. And then right here, Rome, nice and wide and outside zone 1. Field on that tighter line. Field did not get a tire in the box and outside zone 3, but that's what he needs to do in the chase position to show that he is able to mimic what the lead driver's doing. Right here, it looked like Rome may have left outside zone number 2 a little bit early. Matt Field not quite center punches the inside clip, but definitely the right side of that front bumper made contact. And right there is one of the bigger problems with the chase run from Matt Field, and that's missing outside zone number 3 while Rome filled it. So Rome going into the chase position now needs to fill outside zone 3 if Matt does. Just needs to stick it to his door. Field going into the lead needs to run as good as Rome just did, and Rome just put together a really solid lead run. Put his car in all the right places. I think he may have only left outside zone 2 a little bit early, but other than that, really tight on the clips, deep in most of the zones. Yeah. So Matt Field has a a big run ahead of him here if he wants to stay in contention.
And, you know, you're doing a really good job of kind of looking at Rome, looking at Matt. A lot of eyeballs on Matt because, you know, here we are, that Spirit kind of taking down the big dog, but he's still getting for his first ever championship. He's worked hard to get to this point. So even though there's a lot of eyeballs, a lot of pressure on him, he has yet to win an event. He has yet to win an overall championship, but this is the closest he's been so far.
Yeah.
And you know, Rome, we haven't really talked about this, how high speed the track is, the wheel speed. They're burning through these tires real quick. So tire attrition is something we really haven't spoken about. So keeping the tire under your car, do you have enough tire to finish it out? Because they're ripping through these, obviously, each battle. Here we go, Matt Field, the Beast of the Bay out front, 777, comes now into 104 miles per hour. He talked about that speed. He said he was down to horsepower, but right now he's absolutely tuned up into that second outside zone. Look at the angle from him. You can see nothing but Falcon tire wrapped around those Forge Stars. Now coming down the last outside zone. Filling all of it? Yes, he does. He rides right there. Look at Rome Charpentier. Great proximity from Rome. And he does drop a little tire, but he did not lose drift. He went and drifted across that finish line. A great execution by Rome Charpentier. Now keep in mind, remember in E-Town how busy Rome was? That gentleman had multiple one more times. He has given it the beans, as they say in the UK. And I'll tell you what, really well done by both the drivers. Matt Field, 104 miles per hour on initiation.
Yeah, so let's look at Matt Field's accuracy in the lead. He has to be as good as Rome was or better. He's off of inside clip 1. He's in the green in outside zone number 1. Great on outside zone 2. You can see that in the chase, Rome is almost doing everything. Matt misses inside clip 2, but does a great job in outside zone number 3. You can see that Rome is doing the exact same thing that Matt did in the chase. He's making a compromise on line right there through zone 3, but Matt missed a couple of key areas there, inside clip 1 and inside clip 2. He was clean on everything else, but on Rome's lead, Rome was tight on everything. The only thing he did was miss the second half of outside zone number 2 in his lead run. So you have to analyze the errors that were made, the successes that both drivers have, and see if there's an advantage in both or at least one of the positions.
Wow, crazy! A really great effort there. You could see the graphic that's on the back of Rome's vehicle. Give moderns hell, and you know, talks. He's piling that E36. So here is our BC Racing Go for Gold side-by-side replay. Again, also United States Air Force replay.
All right, as you watch the initiation, look at where both drivers are at inside clip 1. Nice and tight is Rome, off is Matt Field. Both a good job on outside 1. Rome left zone 2 a little early. Field filled it better. Field was tighter, or sorry, Rome was tighter on inside clip 2. Field was off a little bit. And then right there, Rome has better proximity, even though they're both making a compromise on outside zone number 2. Now, in the chase position, you have to look at who did a better job there. This is a tough one.
This is really tough, and a lot of pressure on the judges, you know, just overall. But let's take a look. I believe we got all judges' input. Where are my Matt Field fans at? One more look here. Look at Matt Field. Again, championship implications here. You saw the gap. So, and, you know, taking a look at this, he's trying. All right, so taking a look at this, just the analyzation here. And let's score it here. You know, just really splitting hairs. So slide them left for Rome, right for Matt Field, and we got, again, our current points leader. The pressure mounts. Left for Rome, right for Matt Field. And that's a one more time across the board. One more time. And Ryan, you know, it
really well, and then Matt hit the inside clip. But when I looked at Rome's chase, originally I thought he did a great job.
Yeah.
But if you analyze it, you can see some errors.
And we're really scrutinizing that run because of the championship implications of what's going on. And Rome did really give it all. Here we go, Jonathan Castro and Ola Yeager. Jonathan Castro, Jono Motodom. Toyota GR86, great looking car. And Ola Yeager with that Mark IV Supra, looking good, gets right to the side of Jonathan Castro. All Toyota battle, old school, new school. we all rule where Toyota rules right now. Look at Castro. Set it and forget it. Really well done there from Jonathan Castro. But Ola Jaeger following him up again, another Norwegian driver behind the wheel of his Norwegian sled. And again, just kind of talking about the previous battle towards the beginning of this battle, but just right before them, Rome Charpentier, Matt Field. But let's focus on this, Ryan.
Yeah, great lead run there from Jonathan Castro. I think he had a couple of little bobbles here on initiation. Right there, you can see it. Right behind him is Ola Jaeger. Ola misses outside zone 1, but it gives him an opportunity to gain proximity going into outside zone 2, and he takes advantage of that. Stays nice and tight with Castro as he comes through inside clip 2. Both great job there. And then as we go to outside zone 3, Ola falls a little behind and then falls off line as well. So he drops down slightly from that box that we have painted in outside zone number 3. So Ola made a compromise at outside zone number 1, but he made it and he got over it and he got back online and he started following it better. Then he falls off slightly in outside zone 3. We tell the drivers, if you're going to make a compromise on line or angle to make up the proximity, do it, but make it quick, because you don't know what's going to happen to that other chase driver when they're chasing you, but you want to make sure you have that proximity set as soon as possible.
All right, so the demeanor of our current points leader, you can see kind of feeling loose, gonna pop the door and get behind his trusty steed, his team. All hands on deck right now. And you know, we saw Ryan Turk earlier. You know, he got given the pressure by Mike Power, and we saw what eventually happened to him. So this is where you really need to kind of calm your nerves, see what's going on, assess the situation. But guess what? Rome's stoked. You know, Rome's got to be, you know, grinning ear to ear, and he normally is usually. You know,
Yes.
he's always kind of got a grin on his face. Rome Charpentier in that garage stick BMW, but a lot of pressure in Matt Field's corner. But we'll revisit that in a moment. Right now, Ola Jaeger out front, Japan Auto, Toyota Supra going against the Toyota GR86, 101.7 mile per hour. From Ola Jaeger, he gave a little ooh there to Lantain as we're going to review this. Going to that second outside zone, getting that second out. It's going to that second inside clip. Both of them on it. Like to see Castro with a little more angle there. Looks like he's compromising that proximity for a bit of angle. Ola Jaeger, he gets in, gets out, gets back in to that second out, or that final outside zone.
So my ooh was for Ula's initiation, and I want to see what happened there at initiation.
Do you see
It
kind
looked
of
like
a little flub or a bobble?
It was a dual initiation, I think. It was a double.
Like a stepped?
He got it a bit to angle and then straightened, and then he got to angle, I think, by the 1 cone, but it looked like it was not as he hoped, anticipated, expected maybe. So that could have a big implication in this battle right now. I want to watch it again as soon as we get that replay up.
All right, let's take a look. Here we go. Point it out to me, bud.
Yeah, so look at Ula's car right there. He goes to initiate, doesn't.
Oh, wow.
And
Failure
then
to
he
launch.
eventually gets it to angle, maybe at or just beyond that 1 cone. So that's a stepped or failed initiation potentially. In the chase position, you've got Castro doing a good job of positioning his car. Ula was off of inside clip 2, but Castro was right on it. So that gives him a little advantage there in terms of proximity and line. There you go. So there's the run complete. We're seeing that these battles are very tight this round. It just seems like this track, the way it flows, it gives all drivers a great opportunity to put together a good lead and a good chase. So it's going to be coming down to splitting hairs here, I think.
Yeah, and I liked what you talked about. Okay, here's opportunities where you can make it look better, and that's what I think was really interesting about some of the other battles we've seen previously. Jonathan Castro gets the victory. Let's see what we got here from Jones and Olsen. Run 1 here in the Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32. And Jones initiates 96.7 miles per hour, tight on that inside clip. Simon Olsen kind of seems sliding on by, losing some ground into that second outside zone. Taking the tighter line is Olsen. Now Jones into that final outside zone. Olsen, you can see him putting that back right in. Doesn't hold on to it, but Jones rips across the finish line. And his Nissan Z again, Evil Auto Works. Nissan Z.
That was a good lead from Jeff Jones. Did see some errors from Simon Olsen in the chase position. So Jeff gets the car to angle there, nicely done. Olsen dives in a little bit there, and then falls off, misses outside zone 1 and 2. while Jeff Jones fills them both. Jeff, pretty good job on inside clip number 2. Simon hits inside clip 2 with his front bumper. Jeff, nice line around outside zone number 2, right in the box, almost right out to the edge of the track. We can see Simon inside there. So that was the bobble from Simon on initiation. He's across the other side of the smoke in that view, but he missed both outside zones and then hit the inside clip with basically with the headlight on the right side of that car. And then right here, you'll be able to see Simon does start in outside zone 3, but then gets out of it immediately. Has decent proximity, but is definitely compromising on the line through outside zone 3 to the finish line.
Yeah, how we doing, fans up in the building? Thank you for joining us out here. The inaugural, I know Jim Lau's watching at home. Shout out to Bar Jim Lau, he's watching. And some fans here joining us. A lot of shakas in Utah. Everybody's throwing shakas. That's what I'm seeing more than anything. A little hang loose. All right, so Simon Olsen will lead Jeff Jones giving chase. Let's see who gets the second half of this battle. Again, the winner going against Jonathan Castro. Will it be Simon Olsen from Norway, Jeff Jones from Southern California, Los Angeles? Here we go. Olsen and Jones. Jones pacing him on initiation. Olsen initiates. Jones, kind of a little delayed initiation there compared to what Olsen did. Now Jones comes into that second outside zone. Olsen wavers into that second inside clip, does a good job now into that final outside zone. Olsen looking a lot more confident out front. You could just see, you know, with him out front getting the fresh air, you know, some kind of interesting things. I want to see what happened on initiation there. It seemed Jeff might have been a little delayed. He didn't go exactly at the same time Olsen did, and that's not required. Just got to go towards that 3-2-1 cone. Ryan, what'd you see?
Yeah, it looked like Jeff Jones initiated late. Watch the puff of smoke after the 1 cone. So that might be a problem for Jeff Jones in the chase position. You need to initiate by that 1 cone at the very latest. In terms of the run itself, Simon had a little bobble there after outside zone 2, but did a decent job in the zones. Jeff missed outside zone 2. Maybe didn't have the momentum there. It looked like he fell off a little bit after that late initiation. It just wasn't able to catch up after that. So you see there that initiation was really late. May have even been a failed attempt and then a secondary attempt that caught on a little bit late though. So that bobble right there from Simon didn't seem to affect Jeff because he wasn't really in the proximity that would have allowed or caused him to have an issue there with that.
All right, let's see if we have a result here. Scrutinizing the runs, our judges, Brian Egger, Chris Ewell, and of course, co-host and judge Ryan Lontaine. Is that Young Gravy? What's up, dog? Is that Young Gravy right there? I think he's in the building. And here's our BC Racing Go for Gold side-by-side instant replay. Of course, all the replays brought to you by United States Air Force, official military sponsor of Formula Drift. Matt Sopa waiting to give the results as we look here. That is Jones leading on the left, Olsen leading on the right. So a lot of focus there. You can see Jones' initiation. It was tight to the inside clip. Was it at the right point? That looks like it threw Jones off of that second outside zone, but Olsen, you know, his chase run, you saw him knock down that second inside clip. Now going to that last outside zone. Jones definitely deep, look at that. In that lead position, did a really good job, Olsen. So it's, you know, it's kind of seeing a trend here. You know, that's just going to be a real dominant flex if you get in that chase position to fill all of that last outside zone. That's just going to really show that you have the horsepower, the driving prowess, the confidence. Hey, what's going on, my man? Are you excited to be here? Okay, right on. Who's your favorite driver? See if I can read your lips. Who's your favorite driver? Who? Thumbs up? You don't know? He doesn't know. Okay, everybody's his favorite driver. I like that. Drifting's your favorite driver. All right, so let's see as we are getting a verdict coming in. There is Dylan the Dozer Hughes. Dylan Hughes, he's advancing on right now. Okay, slide of left for Jones, right for Olsen, and Simon Olsen gets the win. 2-1. And Lantain, I saw you over there analyzing what's going on. What came to my mind, or what came to your mind, excuse me, as Simon, you voted for Olsen.
Yeah, I was looking at his Jeff Jones's initiation and chase is what I was focusing on. It looks like he initiated late and didn't get the car to angle for quite a while after the one cone, and it's just not what we're looking for in terms of either run, lead or chase. And then his proximity was off. It just seemed like his flow was off through the chase run, missed a couple of zones. Simon had a couple of errors as well, but I just feel that he did a better job overall.
All right, big pressure again. Eyeballs on these two drivers. Rome Charpentier, second place in E-Town, going against our current points leader, and this is a one more time battle. So it tells you that Rome is not a pushover, and Matt Field really needs to apply the pressure here. And don't leave it in the judges' hands. That's just seems to be a reoccurring theme here. So here we go. Rome Charpentier will lead. He qualified 10th. Here's our one more time battle between Rome and Matt Field. Rome initiates in that first inside clip. You see Matt just barely nickel that front left corner to that second outside zone. Both the drivers go. Let's see the angle here now coming into that second inside clip. Both of them zeroing in on it. Looks like Matt Field not leaving anything. Said, I'm going to hit those darn inside clips. He missed them on that first battle. Rome gets all the way into that outside zone. Matt was flirting with it. I think it was on the line of entry in that last outside zone. And I really think Matt says, look, I'm not going to miss those inside clips. I'm going to nick them so you know I hit them. Rome wrapping it around properly. What's your stance on hitting those inside clip cones?
Well, it's all going to be comparative. It depends what
you hit it.
Rome does in his chase.
All right.
So just a little tap there. Good job on line for both there. Matt maybe wasn't as deep in zone 1, but following well through zone 2. Look at the proximity through in clip 2. Again, just taps that inside clip. And there's that
awesome
proximity on the transitions I was looking forward to, as you asked me earlier today. Great job from both, but you can see the consistency from Rome. He's putting his car in the same place essentially on every single run. Doing a great job there. Matt is making slight sacrifices, but look at that proximity. You can't argue with that. That is beautiful. That transition right there. The car positioning. You can see that a couple of little bobbles from Rome in the lead position through outside zone 3. Matt isn't quite as deep in outside zone 3. His tire is just kind of inside that white line. But now it's going to come down to Rome. How can he put together a chase behind Matt? And how well can Matt do on his lead run? Matt has some big shoes to fill here, let's say, in terms of trying to match what Rome just put together. Rome was deep in all the zones. He may have left outside zone number 2 a little bit early, but he fills 1, transitions the car, and gets to zone 2 pretty well. Just left zone 2 early, and Matt was following right behind.
So a big battle here, and this is where Matt needs to show some dominance, that he is your points leader and wants to be champion. And we talked about that, just under 50 points. Matt Field is ahead of Frederick Osbo. So there are some big points at stake here, big position, power plays, because keep in mind, 100 points at stake for first, 91 for second, you see 80, 67, so on and so forth. But again, 4 of the top 5 drivers are in top 16 already. So here we go. Matt Field out front, Rome Charpentier in the chase position. Matt Field's really going to need to show why he's called the Beast of the Bay and your current points leader. He's yet to have a victory this year, but would love to get on top of the box or in the conversation and stay in that conversation. Into that second outside zone, big power, big angle. Now approaching that second inside clip. A little bit off, but big angle. Rome falling back a little bit. He needs to apply the pressure, and there goes Matt Field into it. And look at Rome. Look how deep Rome is. He does waver in that chase position. Matt Field did exactly what he needs to do. I'll tell you, kind of alternating here. Remember, keep in mind, they can go another one more time, and Rome has seen this, and again, not a pushover by any means. He's not in the championship conversation, but right now, he slid into those DMs, my friend.
I liked Matt Field's line from outside zone 2 to inside clip 2, whereas with Rome, it was a little bit tight. He left outside zone 2 early. So let's look at Matt, who's pulling away here at initiation. Good job on inside clip 1. Good job on outside zone 1.
Ooh.
You can see there, Rome goes real long on zone 1 and then misses zone 2. Matt Field has a nice arc from zone 2 to in 2. And then right here, you can see Matt right on that line, all the way wide. And you can see that Rome is situated very similarly to where Matt had, Matt is, I got confused.
It's good. No, it's good. It's
Matt,
good, man.
Rome was in the same spot as Matt was on his chase. There we go. I got it right now.
No, and I love just analyzing all the different angles. You know, here we are, requested and asked upon us as our role, for me especially, to knee-jerk reaction and react. Getting that eye in the sky, getting the different POV, and getting all the different angles, no pun intended, is how we need to execute. And you guys need to, you know, get the verdict here. So slide him left for Rome or right for Matt Field, and Matt Field gets the win. But hey, round of applause for Rome Charpentier over Rome. But here we go. The loudest car, I think, in Formula Drift. Jonathan Hurst, the pride of Paducah, that AZ Rags BMW, going against another BMW. The young buck, that is Brandon Sorensen, into that first outside zone. See how, oh, look at that. Brandon Sorensen narrowly almost hitting Jonathan Hurst. And now into that inside clip, you see him knocking it over. Now into that final outside zone. Let's see how Jonathan Hurst handles it. He gets into it. Brandon Sorensen flirting with the edge, but Hurst right there on the edge of the course. Woo! Almost hitting that drone cam there with some shrapnel coming off the top there, but really well done by Hurst. You saw Sorensen, you know, taking out that second inside clip. Let's analyze it. Break it down.
Yeah, as they run up to initiation, I think they both did a good job on inside clip 1. Let's have a look at it. Good initiation from both of them. Yep. Oh, Brandon hit inside clip 1. Low angle there as he misses outside zone 1 and outside zone 2. While on the lead, you see Hurst doing a good job through there. So that's the second inside clip that was hit by Brandon. Definitely making some compromises to maintain proximity. And you can see that through outside zone number 3 as well. Brandon's on a tighter line there. So look at his angle there. I guess Brandon did get into outside zone number 1, but he did go as wide as Hurst put his tire on the rumble strip, which is totally legal. And as they transition here for zone number 3, you can see Brandon jump in a little bit there and not quite as wide. He's not in the box as Jonathan Hurst puts his tire right on the edge of the track. Looks really strong.
See that part flap? I don't know what it was, a GoPro or something. Flew off right after the finish line. Yeah. Oh man, you can feel a little bit of a sigh of relief there from Matt Field. There you go. Yeah, you can see what's going on here. Pop off that helmet, and we'll see the second half of this Hurst and Sorensen battle. And I'm sure Lorette will have some words with him. And Matt Field will advance on, and he's going against Ken Gucci in the 16. Remember, we do have a halftime break. Let the drivers kind of gather their thoughts, but once we start 16, it's on and cracking to find out who wins here at round 7 of the Type S Elevated presented by AutoZone. Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. Here we go. Brandon Sorensen will now lead from Las Vegas, going against Jonathan Hurst. Jonathan Hurst pacing him here. See what Brandon Sorensen's got. Here comes Sorensen out front. 98 miles an hour into that inside clip. You saw him, a little bit of correction there again. We saw that in his chase run, so maybe a little timid there going into that inside clip. Now, past the second inside clip, Jonathan Hurst, I think, has an opportunity to catch him here, maybe pacing him by design. But Brandon Sorensen, look at that. Oh, buddy. Bang, bang. Okay, we get into the door, so
a little bit of contact there.
I have to think that Sorensen came out of drift there and got into the side of Jonathan Hurst. That should be interesting. And again, oh man, look at that door. Oh, okay, we got some suicide doors here. Is that a Lincoln Continental all of a sudden? You can see that battle damage there. So, oh, look at this. This is great. Look at Rome and Matt talking here. It was a good first battle, Matt. But that's the attitude I love to see. Right on. Kudos to Rome Charpentier. And, of course, Matt talking about what went down. Really love this.
And lunge forward, right? Where, like, I can back into it and dig out of it. Yeah. Your car just...
And then down the straightaway, I jump you. I'm like almost wheel to wheel on the straightaway, and you're like, yeah. I'm like, oh.
All right, as we watch the replay, I think the big question here is what happened at the finish line. And I've been watching the replay on our little other screen here, and it looked like, so right there, let's start there. Sorensen had an issue at inside clip 1, and it threw Hurst off a little bit, but Hurst gets back on it, mimics the line through here. As he transitions for zone 3, He's just outside that box, but right here at the finish line, you can even see Sorensen's hands inside, unwinding the wheel. You can see him hand over hand in that area. So let's watch it from the sky here. It'll show us what happened. As you watch this overhead view, you're going to see angle coming out of Sorensen's car. And I don't know if it was maybe a grip issue or mechanical, something's happening there. But watch right there. The car loses angle, and I think maybe the only reason that angle remained in the car is because Hurst hit him and kind of pumped him back to angle. So definitely something came up there as an issue with Sorensen's car. And from the other view, you can see him hand over hand unwinding the wheel. So there is something that occurred at the finish line, and it's going to go Jonathan Hurst's way.
All right, there it is. Jonathan Hurst gets the victory. The AZ Rag. Watching Wataru Masayama, the Drift Cave operates that Buy Now Japan S15. Nick Novak, Cora Works, Tyler, and Greg and Lauren, they're all watching back either here in the booth or up in Atlanta or down in Atlanta. Here we go, Nick Novak initiating the Cora Works BMW. And that first outside zone transition, the second outside zone, Masayama mimicking the angle, needs more proximity, and you ask and you shall receive. Masayama brings it a little tight here. Big angle there from Novak. Massive angle from Novak. You saw him kind of come out of that outside zone, but still obviously an exciting run from both of them. Let's take a look at it again. Different angles with our United States Air Force instant replay. Again, last battle, top 32.
All right, as they come down to initiation, looks like Masayama had a bit of a delayed initiation, but gets on it pretty well after that. Good job in the lead from Novak going through outside zone 1 and 2. Masayama's mimicking pretty well here. Nice line from both of them by inside clip number 2 as they transition for 3. Novak gets in the box and then leaves it near maybe about halfway through. Masayama's right there with him. So you see right there that hesitation on initiation from Masayama in the chase position. Novak, good line there. This aerial view, of course, shows us everything. Nice transition from both of them. Great line through inside clip 2. Nice mimic from Masayama in the chase position. Coming to outside zone 3. Nick Novak starts in the zone and then leaves it about halfway through. Masayama maybe even stayed deeper as he went through in the chase position outside zone number 3.
Potentially one more half of battle left here in 32 to forge our Royal Purple Top 16. Last battle of our Rockstar Energy Top 32. Yeah, we got Kazuya Taguchi, Osbo, Forsberg, Bakshis, Denofa and Hull, Dylan Hughes and Reader, 2 bros, about to throw down. Ken Gushi versus Matt Field, that should be a good one. Of course, Castro and Simon Olsen, and then Jonathan Hurst against one of these guys for our final battle in 32. The Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32, Rockstar, the official energy drink of Formula Drift. Masayama will lead, Novak giving chase. Remember, we have a halftime break, and then we're back at it like a track addict. And we'll be back here for our live stream, and here, obviously, the inaugural round. That is the Type S Elevator, presented by AutoZone. Nasty initiation by that Buy Now Japan S15, and Nick Novak swings wide. Want to see if he just mismarked it, or was there something that went wrong in the lead position? Nick Novak trying to power back into that final outside zone. Masayama into that final outside zone. Nick Novak straightening and bringing it on home. Let's take a look what happened there. Again, Masayama with a gangster initiation. Was it warranted? Was it exciting? Did Nick Novak make a mistake? Was he kind of just phased? What happened? What went south?
Well, we're gonna have to see on the replay what occurred. Masayama's initiation was really, really big, and it looked like Novak in the chase. Trying to watch on our other screen over here to see what's going on.
Now keep in mind the chase car needs to give way to the lead car on initiation. Maybe Novak was applying too much pressure and got into his business. Let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, there could have been contact. There is
his bumper is down there. Yeah, his back bumper down there on the ground. But I believe that's just into that second outside zone. So that second outside zone is where he lost that back bumper.
It looked like Masayama was back on throttle by the inside clip.
Here it is. A lot of handbrake, but not. Yeah, so there was contact. Yeah. There was contact.
No, it looked like Novak was maybe a little too aggressive on that. We do have the drone footage that we're gonna back it up. That is some artistic drone driving right there, flying.
You're not seeing a lot of smoke from Masayama's car, so there is handbrake being pulled, but keep in mind, decel area, was he beyond it? Is he in it? Is it justified? Was Nick Novak just, you know, kind of the perfect storm, as I like to call it, where he's too close, and Masayama, through an initiation we really haven't seen too much of, but you need to kind of temper that flame and temper that choice. So
yeah,
analyzing it, looking at it again there, Ryan.
Yeah, I see smoke from Masayama before the inside clip, but it just seems like, let's see the fluidity, like the motion. Yeah, he's back on throttle right before the hit. Maybe it was Novak just trying to be really close and trying to be aggressive there. That's what it looks like based on the movement of the cars, the motion.
All right, slide him left for Novak, right for Masayama, and it looks like Masayama unanimously gets the win. Masayama gets the win, and Nick Novak just a little too aggressive. Congratulations to the Coro Works team for getting that victory last night in Pro Spec, Blake Olson, but not the case here in Pro. Look at the crowd. Thank you guys and gals so much for either joining us here at the inaugural first ever Type S Elevator presented by AutoZone. Lantain, your thoughts on 32 as 16 is forged. Remember, we have that halftime break, and we're back here, I believe, and we'll get that schedule up there. But your thoughts?
Yeah, this is only going to get harder and harder for these drivers. I think we've seen in top 32 here that the driving is very high level across the board. You know, it's fast. It's easy to get the car positioned. Visually, from our point of view, I'm sure the drivers would have a different perspective on that. Chris was mentioning inside clip 2 feels off camera a little bit, but it's making for one heck of a show, and we're seeing a lot of tight tandems and those great transitions at speed, inches away from the lead car. That is incredible.
Thank you so much, Lantain. It's some great insight on behalf of you and the judges, Chris Yule, Brian Eggert, Ryan Lantain. On behalf of the whole staff, it's local time, just so you know, 2:09. So just less than 2 hours, we'll kick off our opening ceremonies, our United States Air Force opening ceremonies, our driver introduction. My name is Jared Deanda. Enjoy our little halftime break here. Grab a Rockstar energy drink, grab a good time, meet and greet your favorite drivers. If you're in the building, our inaugural ever round, Utah Motorsports Campus, delivering, again, round 7 of 8. This is Type S Elevated presented by AutoZone. We'll see you back in a couple hours. Send it.